Okay.
Yeah, namaste to all. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Everybody able to hear me properly? Okay. So we concluded Karana Shariram, discussion of Karana Shariram last time. So I promised to give you the word meaning of that. So let me just unmute a couple of you here. Sunita, Hem, and Mahesh. It's a bit noisy, we will mute. Just checking out.
Okay.
So word by word translation, at least the translation of the answer to the question, Karana Shariram Kim. So you may want to note down. Karana Shariram, namely causal body, is that which is of the nature of Karana Shariram, namely causal body, is that which is of the nature of indefinable, beginningless avidya. Indefinable, beginningless avidya. Karana Shariram, namely causal body, is that which is of the nature of indefinable, beginningless avidya, comma, as merely the cause of the two bodies, within brackets, Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram, as merely the cause of the two bodies, within brackets, Sthula Shariram and Sukshma Shariram, comma, ignorance of one's nature, ignorance of one's nature and of the nature of total non-differentiation. Total non-differentiation. So Nirvikalpaka Rupam, total non-differentiation. Okay. So next, let's chant the next couple of verses. So anybody wants to chant?
Yeah, sure. I can do that.
Okay. So Mahesh, go ahead. Aim and Sunita, if you can mute yourself for now.
Okay, this is 125 or
The number I don't have with me right now.
the Karana Shariram Kim?
No, the next one, the one after that. So it must be 126 then.
Oh, Jagadra, Jagrada Avastha.
Correct, correct.
Okay, okay.
Avastatrayam kim.
Avastatrayam Kim.
Jagrat.
Jagrad.
Swapna.
Swapna.
Sushuptyavasthaha.
Sushuptyavasthaha.
Jagradavastha ka.
Jagradavastha ka.
Shrotradi.
Srotradi.
Jnanendriyaihi.
Jnanendriyaihi.
Shabdadi vishayaha.
Shabdadi Vishayaha.
Jnayante iti.
Nyayante iti.
Yat sa.
Yat sa.
Jagradavastha.
Jagradavastha.
Sthula sharirabhimani.
Sthula Sharirabhimani.
Atma.
Atma.
Vishwaha.
Vishwaha.
Ityuchyate.
Ityuchyate.
Okay. So you can unmute yourself, him and Sunita. So here, author is explaining avasthatrayam. Remember, Atma kaha avasthatraya sakshi. So slowly he is, as they say, drilling down, as they say in some technical language. So explaining, elaborating on this avasthatraya. And now talking about Jagrad Avastha, waking state. So, as the student is asking, what is the waking state? So, what is the waking state? Seems to be a question which seems to have an obvious answer. Waking state. Now, in the medical profession, they also will have analyzed this question, because they want to identify if the patient is normal or not. They want to have a normal patient. So not normal means what? So, in these 16 cases where the patient is not responding normally, and patient may be in a state of coma. So I'm sure they have a definition of what coma is. And I'm sure they have a definition of what sleep is. And so waking state means what? The person must be normally interacting with the external world. Maybe the responses are slow, but still responses are there. Something similar, they must have a medical definition. So here also there is a definition that Acharya has given. So, Shrotradi Jnanendriyaihi Shabdadi Vishayaha Jnayante. First segment there. So, Shrotradi. So, by now we know what this Adi means. Shrotra, etc. Shrotra, etc. means all the sense organs, like ear, etc. That is a way to literally translate it. So all sense organs are active. Jnanendriyaihi. Jnayante. So I know all things like sounds, etc. are known through the sense organs. That is what the person says. As though we should imagine the person says that. And that state in which a person's sense organs are all operating and the objects of this world are being perceived. And when the sense organs are being used, we, the live person, cannot but respond. Cannot but respond. At least the response must be, yeah, I heard the sound. Yes, there is a noise. There is a noise. Yeah, I heard you. Yes, I see a tree. I may not respond much, but at least the acknowledgement is there that I am observing all these things. And I may respond also. Somebody is knocking on the door, I go respond. The phone is ringing, I respond. The cooker is steaming, I respond. So like this, response is constant. From the time we wake up, the responses are constant. You cannot stop responding. So we must add. What we must add here? Jnanendriyaihi is sense organs. We must add here karmendriyani. Correct? Karmendriyaihi. What are karmendriyani? So we saw that. Organs of action. Organs of action. Vakpani ityadi. Organ of speech, hand, legs, etc. So all the organs will be used to express our responses. So Jnanendriyaihi are operating. Jnanendriyani operating. Karmendriyani operating. And we can add Pancha Pranadaya, etc. All the other Sukshma Sharira is operating. So here the objective here is, why we are defining it? We are saying that there is a waking experience. So I know when I am awake, I know I am awake. And that experience that I gain is called the waking experience. It is called Jagrad Avastha. Jagrad Avastha is there. Atma is very much there. Jagrad Avastha is not there. Atma is there. Atma has to be there. So Atma sustains the Jagrad Avastha. Waking state is there, Atma is very much there. Waking state is not there, which means there are other states. Then also Atma is there. That is what we want to finally get to. Now, here the author says, Sthula Sharirabhimani Atma Vishwaha Ityuchyate. He says that. The one who identifies with this Sthula Shariram and says, I am this body, that person is called Vishwaha. That is what is being said here. Okay, let's understand this word Vishwaha. First, there is an association with the body, no doubt. That is there. So that is what it is said here. Sthula Sharira Abhimani. Sharira Abhimani. One who is associated with this physical body. It's called Vishwaha. See, Vishwaha here means complete. Complete. Complete means what? Free will is there. We studied this, we analyzed all the living beings and we differentiated the human being from all animals, because the human being has free will. That free will makes the person do, think, act, not act, decide what to do, what not to do. So that ability is what differentiates this human being. So in this waking state, the waker is a karta and a bhokta. Means what? The waker is a doer and an enjoyer or experiencer, both happening. Because later on we will see in dream state, there is only bhoktritvam, there is only experiencing. There is no kartritvam, no doership. Can't do. Helpless. Can't do. Only experience. But here complete experience, and I'm also a doer. I can respond to things. I may be constrained from responding, but still I have the ability to respond. Correct? So all purusharthas, we talk so much about purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. All possible only for the waker. Only in the waking state it's possible. Purusharthas not there for the dreamer, not there for the sleeper. Purusharthas possible. So all this is possible when I identify with the sthula shariram. Okay. So, but I am alive, I am hungry, I am short-sighted. All these associations are also there, which means I am associating with the sukshma shariram also. And karana shariram is also there. So when we say sthula sharirabhimani, we have to add sukshma sharirabhimani also. All the three shariras are there. I say I am ignorant, I am knowledgeable, etc. I know very little. All these things I say. Therefore, there is association with all the three bodies: sthula shariram, sukshma shariram, and karana shariram. So that person who identifies with this shariratrayam is called Vishwaha. Completely manifest. The power is given. The complete power is given to this person. So called Vishwaha. Okay. So that is Jagrad Avastha. And so in terms of translating this, we can say that the state in which, so now I am translating the sentence Jnanendriyahi Shabdadi Vishayaha. You can note down that state in which objects of cognition such as sounds, are known by organs of perception such as ear, are known by organs of perception such as ear, comma, that is the waking state, comma, that is the waking state. Full stop. I, comma, Atma, comma, I, Atma, identifying with the gross body, namely Sthula Shariram, identifying with the gross body, Sthula Shariram, is called Vishwaha. I, Atma, identifying with the gross body is called Vishwaha. Okay. So next, if Sunita can remain unmuted, everybody else can repeat. Swapnavastha ka
Swapnavastha ka
iti chet
iti chet
jagradavasthayam
jagradavasthayam
yad drishtam
yat drishtam
yad shrutam
yat shrutam
tajjanita
tajjanita
vasanaya
vasanaya
nidra samaye
nidra samaye
yah prapanchah
yah prapanchah
pratiyate
pratiyate
sa swapnavastha
sa swapnavastha
sukshma sharirabhimani
sukshma sharirabhimani
atma
atma
taijasah
taijasah
ityuchyate.
ityuchyate.
Okay. So here will Mahesh go and unmute yourself. Yeah. So Swapnavastha ka. What is Swapnavastha? What is dream state? That is the question being asked. Okay. So first thing to cover, understand is Nidra Samaye. Nidra Samaye. At what time is the dream state happening? Nidra Samaye. When the person is asleep. That statement he is making. So he is bringing in sleep also here. We talk about a sleep state, we talk about dream state, we talk about waking state. But now he is saying when he is asleep. So here, the important thing to notice, person is awake. Can the person go to dream state from waking state? This is the question. In a way, it's a scientific question you can ask. That's what we're asking. And we say, no, it's not possible. The person has to go from waking state to sleep state. Then from sleeping state, the person comes to an intermediate dream state. So this science has also proved. Because Jagrad Avastha is one order of reality. One type of reality. And the dream state is another order of reality. I create my own world here in this, in dream state. Okay. So the two orders of reality, I must die to one order of reality. I must give up one order of reality completely in order to enter another order of reality. And in order to do that, I must go through a sleep state. That's the logic. So I go from Jagrad Avastha to sleep state, which will come later. Sushupti Avastha, we will discuss that a little later next. Then I am half awake, as it were. I am awake, but not completely awake. That is Swapna Avastha. So that is why the author says here, Nidra Samaye. Nidra Samaye. Nidra Praptyanantaram. After gaining sleep, okay, that is the way to look at it. After becoming asleep, then only this Swapna Avastha is possible. Okay, so just a technical thing. If you say, no, I didn't sleep, but I'm dreaming, if you say, then we can say, oh, you're daydreaming. 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 No. So many of us don't have time to daydream. These days, so busy life. Everybody is running back. I don't know if they have time to daydream and all that. Very interesting word, daydream. I'm struggling to give examples. See, when we do this, we daydream like that. I can't say that example also. I'm struggling to give an example. So daydream. So I suppose sitting, you're traveling in a bus from Coimbatore to Mysuru. Bhuvanesh came yesterday he visited Coimbatore. So going back in train or bus, and you sit in the train, and in Indian train, if the phone is down, if you don't have a battery pack, that's it. You can't do anything. You're stuck, and you have to either make new friends. Phone is not working. WhatsApp is not there. You can't talk to anybody. And what do? You just look outside. You do all these things. Or you close your eyes. And so maybe during that time, you think about what all happened in Coimbatore, and you let the mind wander. So maybe that's called daydreaming. I don't know. So something where you think about which is not quite connected with the reality, but yet you're not asleep. That's called daydreaming. So here they're talking about Swapna Avastha, which is not daydreaming because the person is asleep. Okay. Now, what about the experience in the sleep, in the dream versus experience in the real world? The experience seems to be identical. I experience joys, I experience sorrows in dream, right? Exactly like in the waking world. None of us say in the dream, oh, it's dream after all. So let me have a little extra fun. Let me go rob a bank. I've seen all these movies where, all these fellows go and they just go rob a bank and all that. As a child, I also always wanted to do that. Let me do it in my dream. Unfortunately, that doesn't work also. And maybe I can dream robbing a bank. That's possible. That we can't rule out. Because I've seen all these funny movies and now my subconscious is there very much. And so I go with all these people. That may be possible. We don't know. But I never say, oh, it's dream, so let me do. Now is the time to just do all the silly stuff. Now is the time. Finish off. That doesn't happen. So experience seems to be identical. The type of things that happen in the dream world also seems to be identical. And even if I say, oh, this is only dream, that also is part of the dream. So that's a very creative dream, I suppose we can say. Very creative. And some more self-awareness is there. But really, we don't know that we are in a dream. We are in a spell of the dream. That's why they use the word spell. Okay. Those two are identical. Experiences wise. Then Vasana. We have to understand Vasana. Not complicated. Impression. Vasana means impression. So based on my experiences in the waking world, I have experiences and there are slabs of memory in my mind. Memories going back so many years and seeing so many things, interacting with so many people. I have accumulated so many experiences. And that impression is called Vasana. There is an impression that is ready to be recollected. Ready to be recollected. I don't know what experience will be recollected at what time, and if it will be recollected at all, we don't know. But those impressions are called Vasana. And those Vasanas come from what? Yad drishtam, yad shrutam. Correct? Yad drishtam. That which is seen, that which is heard where? Not in the dream state. Which is heard Jagrad Avasthayam. Jagrad Avasthayam yat drishtam yat shrutam. That which is experienced in the waking world. Waking avastha. Okay. So now somebody says, no, Jayakumar ji, that's not right. Because last night I had a dream where there are people who had horns. People who had horns. So it is not true. You can't say, I never see any person with horns in a waking experience, but I dreamt. Then we have an answer to that person also. We say, yeah, so maybe you are watching too many Star Wars. All these science fiction movies, they have long ears. They have this protruding nose. All this, I remember William Shatner and all these shows. And they used to, my roommates used to watch all this. Daily there used to be this show. I forget the name of these shows.
Star Trek.
Star Trek. What's that Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Yeah, Star Trek, exactly. Star Wars was the movie. And Close Encounters of the Third Kind and all that came. And now Star Trek. Day after day. And goes on and on. After that, of course, you remember all these things. People with horns, people with tail. All this becomes natural in dream now. So dream, my creativity is expressed in dream. Okay. So, therefore, in dream, I am able to put things together. I can copy paste. In Microsoft Word, we copy paste, right? So like that in dream also, I can copy paste. This is what happens in dream. So no issues with that. We're not too surprised when we dream of a person with horns. So Vasana, this is where we use the word Vasana. So amazing. See, Vasana, literal meaning in Tamil, Vasana means smell. Something, an odor. An odor is called Vasana, correct? I don't know if that's what they...
Yeah,
The same in Telugu too.
Telugu, same thing. Probably in Malayalam, same thing. And but in the north, I don't know how it... Vasana word is not there. Him is shaking his head. So it's not there. Vasana. So
the word is there, but the meaning is not smell.
Yeah, it is a talent too.
Acha, Vasana is used
also
for talent.
Vasana.
What is the meaning? What is the meaning?
Vasana is, I think, impression on your, tendencies.
Or inborn.
Wishing or desire.
Desire. Okay. So here Vasanaya, when the author says, they are referring to impressions and which causes desires, right? So when I say, hey, I used to like this light blue color cloth. So shirt when I wear, light blue color is one of the shirts I used to wear. So why I like this light blue color? Vasana. All Vasana, because we don't know. We can only say what we like, but we never know. We can never answer the question why we like something. Somebody doesn't like sweets, another person just enjoys having sweets. So Vasana, correct. So Vasana is something that we have gained either in this life or we should add in the past life, correct? We should add that also. Because of which we have certain types of inclinations, desires, etc. Good. So, Tajjanita Vasanaya Yaf Prapanchaha Pratiyate. Tajjanita. Tajjanita means born of those experiences which were seen and heard in this life in the waking state. Tajjanita. Born of that vasanas which are created from what I've seen and heard. Correct? Yaf prapanchaha pratiyate, the world that has appeared. This is one model of the creation of the dream world. This is one model. There may be other models also. Again, medical profession may have a model for how a dream is created, etc. They may have models. Then maybe there are other nadi-based models in our tradition. If you look at other disciplines, they will have models. The people who are experts in nadi, analyzing the nerve centers, etc. So, psychological model, neurological model, these models will be there. So, we are not opposed to all that. Because we are not analyzing here how dream happens. That is not, Vedanta is not too concerned about all that. We are using the dream experience to understand the realities. That's all. So we are not too keen on understanding the cause effect here. So some people analyze dreams and they say you can learn a lot from your dreams. They say, some person comes and says that. There is a dream therapist, therapist who analyzes your dreams and helps you. I met just a couple of months ago a friend whose wife is a past life regression therapist. Okay, I had a very interesting conversation with her, and so she basically takes their patients. She explains to her patients what it is and what are the benefits of it. And then if the patient agrees, then they will have a session where the person is taken into some kind of a trance, and person goes into a state where the person begins to see their past life. And some experiences are talked about. And it helps the person, I think. So if there are some emotional blocks which prevent us from being ourselves, our normal selves, a lot of emotional problems may be there, which we want to free ourselves from, then that helps. That is what she said. So in fact, I was also thinking maybe I should have a session, and if it helps us emotionally, why not, right? So I had the thought in my mind. So I have a card with me. So maybe someday, I don't know. So we are not that interested in that in Vedanta per se. When we are analyzing Vedanta, we are not interested. But we can use all these things to help ourselves if indeed it helps ourselves. But so somebody gets lost in this dream therapy and all that. That we don't advise. Because if I can't learn from my waking experiences, how am I going to learn from my dream experience? Please tell me. Please tell me. I am blind to all the people telling me so many things. You're shouting at your wife all the time. You be little more compassionate to your children. You give a little 5 rupees dhanam once in a while. Everybody keeps advising me so many things. Now I say I want to learn from my dreams. So, we don't know how this goes. We don't believe. So we say, wait a minute, relax. Before you go to the dream, you just look at yourself when you're awake and learn from the waking experience. That is what we would advise. Anyway, that's a by the way. Okay. Tajjanita vasanaya yaf prapanchaha pratiyate. That world which is manifest when I am asleep is called the swapna avastha. Then he makes one more statement. Sukshma sharirabhimani. So like in waking state, here there is no identification with physical body, correct? The sthula shariram, I am lost. I am not connected with the sthula shariram. I am lost, even though the body is lying. It's lying very much, and some parts are all functioning. Breathing is happening. The heart is still beating. All that physical action is happening. Involuntary actions are all happening. No voluntary action because no identification. But What about identification with the Sukshma Shariram? Yeah, so I don't identify with myself with my eyes. I don't say I can see. Because Sukshma Shariram means what? All the Jnanendriyani. No, I don't really identify with my sense organs. But there is Manaha in Sukshma Shariram. And all my thoughts, the entire dream is happening in my mind. And I very much associate with my thoughts, obviously. So certain parts of the Sukshma Shariram I do associate with. And so here the author says, Sukshma Sharirabhimani. Identifying with the Sukshma Shariram. Not the entire Sukshma Shariram, but some part of the Sukshma Shariram. That person is called Taijasa. Taijasa. So Tejas. I think there's some noise coming, Mahesh. I don't know who it is, but please check. So Taijasaha means effulgent. Effulgent means, this word effulgent is interesting. I see this on and off, and shining, brilliant. That's the kind of things we can think of. Can't miss. Fully the resplendent. The sun is effulgent. Effulgent means you can't find a black spot in the sun. Impossible. You can't. There's no spot of ignorance, spot of darkness in the sun. So here Taijasaha means effulgent. Effulgent, the word is used here because purely in the form of thoughts. Purely in the form of thoughts. The dream world is purely in the form of thoughts. So just a thought world. Completely thought world. That only I am aware of. Nobody else is aware of this thought world, this dream. Only I am aware of it. And of course, we must bring Karana Shariram also in here. No Sthula Shariram awareness, but Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram, very much there. So Taijasaha. So that person who is identified with the thoughts is called Vishwa. Is called Taijasaha. That is what he is saying here. The Shastram gives the word here. Taijasaha. Okay. So we are completed with that. So if we go back to, if you want the translation, let me give it to you. Swapnavastha ka iti chet. If it is asked what is Swapnavastha, that is the question. If it is asked what is the dream state, the answer is, it is the world which is experienced in sleep. It is the world which is experienced in sleep. It is the world which is experienced in sleep. Within brackets, projected by the impressions born of what is seen and heard in the waking state. What is seen and heard in the waking state. So it is the world which is experienced in sleep, within brackets projected, by the impressions born of what is seen and heard in the waking state. I, Atma, identifying with the Sukshma Shariram. I, Atma, identifying with the Sukshma Shariram is called Taijasaha. Kama, the effulgent one, is called Taijasaha. Kama, the effulgent one. I, Atma, identifying with the Sukshma Shariram, is called Taijasaha, the effulgent one. Okay. So next question. Okay, who wants to, who did not get a chance? Bhagya, you want to repeat the next question?
Yes.
Everybody muted except Bhagya. Everybody can repeat. Tataha
Tataha
Sushuptyavastha ka
Sushupti avastha ka
aham
aham
kimapi na janami
kimapi na janami
sukhena
sukhena
maya
maya
nidranubhuyate
nidranubhuyate
iti
iti
sushuptyavastha.
sushuptyavastha.
Okay. So go ahead and mute yourself. So interesting. Sometimes some people, there is noise coming when they, from their microphones, and I think the next technology should tell us, hey, there is people are hearing some noise from this. There's some signal must be given. I think that would be useful. They say customer, they say, whenever you call, they say, oh, this conversation is being recorded for customer service purposes. So, okay, I'm giving some feedback. Take the feedback. When I don't want to give feedback, they're recording. And when I'm talking, they're not listening. So sometimes I feel it's like that. Anyway. So, Sushupti Avastha Kha. So, what is this deep sleep state? That is the question being asked. Aham kimapi na janami. I don't know anything. So I don't know anything. I don't say when I am asleep. So when I am asleep, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. No, it's not that. So after I wake up, if I were asked, I will say, no, I didn't know. I didn't know. 6 hours have passed, 8 hours have passed. And so that I didn't know what happened. That state is called deep sleep state. So sometimes in a class also, 1 hour class has happened, and then somebody might say, Aham kimapi na janami. That also is possible. I'm not denying that. So we hope teachers are aware of their teaching and can take care of that problem if that arises. But we are not referring to that here. So referring to a state of complete non-awareness, aham kimapi na janami. Okay, so we can't say things like snoring and all that. When snoring happens, means what? That's a physical manifestation. Deep sleep can happen without snoring. Dream state can also have snoring. So we can't give those kinds of answers here. Snoring is not acceptable. Okay. Then another thing he adds, Sukhena maya nidra anubhuyate. So very interesting that state of experience, deep sleep state. Nidra anubhuyate. I experienced sleep. That is a literal translation of Nidra anubhuyate. And maya, by me, Anubhuyate, correct? Maya, by me. How I experienced it? Sukhena. Sukhena. So even the person who has difficulty going to sleep, there is so much difficulty. It's amazing. Yes, that is problem number one. If you say this can be a problem, that difficulty going to sleep and going to sleep with so much baggage. But even there, that person will say, yes, I slept well. If they have slept, then they will say, during that sleep, I slept well. During that, maybe I can say, no, it's not enough. Not enough. What is the meaning? Why do we say it's not enough? I didn't sleep enough. Because there was so much joy in it, and I wish I could have slept a little more. That is why all these phones have the snooze button. Snooze. So alarm is there, but the snooze button is even more important than the alarm. Otherwise, I don't know how many of us can survive. And get up and alarm did its job. No. Alarm keeps on repeating. Keeps on repeating. This time when I updated this iPhone, it comes up with a new option called repeat. Repeat, it says. It says that for not stopwatch.
Snooze.
Alarm.
Alarm. For alarm, it says. No, not alarm. It's called. Alarm, it doesn't say repeat.
Snooze.
There are 4 options. Yeah, timer option.
Oh.
The timer option, you want to daydream for 10 minutes, right? So then you can say 10 minutes and you can wake yourself up from the daydream. So there they have all these options. So those options tell us that we enjoy that experience and we want to just repeat that experience. Aham sukham aswapsam. That is another statement given elsewhere. I slept well. Or at least during the time I slept well. I enjoyed. It was an enjoyable experience. So what is unique about this experience? Why it is enjoyable? The individuality is given up. Individuality means what? I have so many ideas about myself when I am awake. Whatever be the idea I have, I am an accomplished man. I am not accomplished. I wish I had accomplished so much when I was a teenager or when I went to college. I am not healthy. I am healthy. I have a lot of problems. I don't have problems. Whatever idea I have about myself, that forms my individuality. Correct? If I can write a book about myself, that book is my individuality. Now, that book is useless because who wants to read my book? Who wants to read somebody else? This is what surprises me sometimes. I don't know why people are interested in other people's biographies, autobiographies. See, famous person and all, okay, so we can be inspired by them. But otherwise, you listen to my autobiography, then only I will listen to your autobiography. I will torture you for half an hour, then you can torture me for half an hour. That I can handle it. There is some noise. Okay, so that I think that deal is acceptable. But otherwise, I don't know why anybody will go to a bookstore and look for autobiographies of somebody who don't know who this person also. At least I know who the person is. I'm inspired by that person's talks and all that. Okay, I want to know his life a little more, and maybe I can learn from that. That's it. That's okay. This individuality, this autobiography of mine, which is very much there, and then there is no vikalpa. Here, vikalpa is a word we may have used it before. Vikalpa means what? In a waking state, there are so many thoughts in my mind. In the dream state also, there are many thoughts. And that division is called Vikalpa. That division is called Vikalpa. No duality. No duality. In the waking world, there is complete duality. There is just things and things and thoughts and sounds. It's endless, it is, and it's complete duality. Multitudinous, multiplicity, multifaceted, I don't know what words you can use here. And that duality is completely absent in deep sleep. Completely absent. No duality is there. Therefore, of course, there is no individuality. And even for me to say that I am a speaker, I am a listener, I am a teacher, I am a student, I am a father, I am a mother. Even to say that, I must have that ownership that, yeah, I am a father. To say that, there must be so much behind it. Even that is not there in deep sleep. So that awareness of who I am is also not there. All those roles that I play in waking state, all that, no awareness is there. That is called Nirvikalpa. That state is called Nirvikalpa. And so some of you may have heard of Nirvikalpa Samadhi or Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. So Samadhi is of two types, Nirvikalpa and Savikalpa. So Nirvikalpa means a state of mind where there is no such division, no Vikalpa. There is absolutely no thought. A thought-free state, if you can say that, that is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. The only difference between Nirvikalpaka Samadhi and Sushupti Avastha is what? Only difference is in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, I am awake. I am awake. Now, if you say I am doing meditation, and many people do this, they go on meditation and after some time we start hearing sounds. Because the fellow has gone to sleep and he is snoring nicely. It happens. If you have, we go to an ashram and a meditation class at 6:30, we go and till 7:15, 45 minutes meditation. And occasionally you will hear sounds. Because too many people are there and many people are tired and now is the time that sleep just comes. And Swamiji is guiding us and he's saying, come on, relax and legs and hands and everything. And then, oh my God, sleep just comes. So Nirvikalpa Samadhi, deep sleep also. And Samadhi is a state, a waking state where there is no division, is called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And so then after that you have to come outside it and say, I was in Nirvikalpaka Samadhi during the last half an hour or 1 hour or how much ever time it was. And so that's a different topic. But so this dream sleep state experience is one of Nirvikalpakam. Absence of any division whatsoever, no subject-object division, no experiencer experienced division. And therefore, Sukhena Maya Nidra Anubhuyate. So we will cover the rest later on. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanyaha Prithivi Sasya Shalini Desho Yam Kshobarahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramayaha सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम